So now we're in this protracted war, which could continue for many, many months, if not years. Iran is prepared for it. Weapons underground, thousands of Navy ships, small Navy ships through the Straits of Hormuz. Like, this is not going to be something that wraps up in 4 days, despite what the Secretary of War would like us to believe. So how can the U.S. dollar, like if we bring it back to the economy, how can the U.S. dollar be looked at if the U.S. can't win this war decisively?
Yeah, look, and I don't even know what winning the war means. I mean, can we bomb them into submission? I suppose, we can keep dropping bombs until we run out. And, one of the reasons that all the defense contractors have been rallying is because they're anticipating that Washington is going to be buying more ammunition from them.
Right. Another 20-year war, like another 20-year war that'll make them super happy.
But I don't think we can win it in the sense that, they have claimed are the objectives. We have a lousy track record every time we go to war in the Middle East. And, the classic definition of insanity is to do the same thing over and expect a different result. I don't expect a different result in Iran. It's going to be the same thing that happens all the time. Every war takes a lot longer than they claim. They thought that the war with Russia and Ukraine was going to be over quickly. About how many years has that been going on? That was supposed to be wrapped up quickly. And of course, if we're going to believe the stated objectives of this war, there is no way we can achieve those objectives unless we have troops, on the ground in Iran. There's just no other way to do it. And so then what's going to happen? I mean, we're going to put our troops there, and how are we going to get them out? I mean, we got trapped in Iraq. How long we were there? How about Afghanistan? Look, Trump actually, not only did he campaign against this kind of stuff, even before he was a candidate, he was publicly against this kind of stuff. These regime change wars and these forever wars and getting involved in the Middle East. He was the peace candidate. He was like, vote for me so we don't have any war. Right? He's like, well, you better not vote. You better not vote for Harris, because that's a vote to go to war with Iran. Well, some people voted for Harris, and yes, we're going to war with Iran, even though Harris didn't win.
And he was tweeting regularly about how people would use Iran as a distraction, use a war against Iran as a distraction. He said, watch out, Obama's going to use a potential war against Iran as a distraction.
Yes, he actually told people that he thought that a great distraction is starting a war with Iran. That was already his opinion, because he had expressed it. That, hey, if you need a distraction, if you're ineffective as a leader, if you can't negotiate, then you start a war. So he already believes that is something that you do. And now he's gone and done it. And, it's not a coincidence. Again, a lot of stuff was going on. The economy was bad, even though he was claiming it was great. All the data was showing that the economy was weakening. Inflation was rising. He just had the tariffs, his signature policy, declared unconstitutional, and rightly so, by the Supreme Court. And, the Epstein files were becoming very embarrassing for the Trump administration. And so if Trump needed a distraction, it's right now. Yeah. And now all of a sudden, nobody's talking about Epstein. No one's talking about the labor market or the weakening economy. They're talking about the war. And now Donald Trump becomes a wartime president. And a lot of presidents want to be a wartime president because Americans tend to want to rally around the commander in chief during a war. They want to support the troops. They want to support the commander of the troops. It really helped Bush out quite a bit. Initially, his popularity soared, when we were in war. So I think Trump understands that wartime presidents are popular. And I think, so he wanted to be a wartime president. So started a war.
Well, we didn't have the false flag this time, like the 9/11 false flag to drag us into a forever war. So now,
yeah, and look, that was supposed to be about weapons of mass destruction, which we all know is a lie, was a lie at the time. That's why I think, I don't think Trump was being honest when he said that we had to attack Iran because they were about to attack us. That's what he said today at a press conference. Yeah. He said we struck them because if we didn't strike them, they were about to strike us. Right. I just don't believe that Iran would have been dumb enough to do that.